Oh my goodness. Who wants to have coffee with crazy old man Zack? Working in the kitchen. Tag AB. I see her out there. AB. Scarlet. No, I can't. Okay, there we go. Anyway, just in time, I got the coffee ready. Oh, it's time for that magic moment where I stick it in. Oh, yeah, let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. My favorite coffee, Folgers. Oh, man, and I got the French press. Oh, I just love just to tickle the tip in there a little bit. Oh, just squeeze it around a little bit. Push it in a little bit. Oh, off to the side. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, this is my kitchen. There's my dog, Riley. If you have a Riley like I have a Riley, you'll have toys all over the house. Yeah. And then, of course, I have a Rocky. There's Rocky. Hi, Rocky. Rocky's my fancy bearded dragon. I rescued him out of the yard 2 years ago when I moved to Lancaster. And I've been taking care of him. He's an expensive date. Here, there's my stove. I'm all ready to cook some breakfast. Got my coffee here. I got some pork country style ribs I'm gonna season up. I'm gonna stuff in this bag with some seasonings and get the smoker going today. And then I also got some peach pits here that I'm soaking in water. I'm getting ready to plant some peaches. This should be fun. Anyway, let's see if I can adjust I don't have a camera. My lady's never participates. I wish I could get her to help me. She's sleeping, so I thought I'd make her some breakfast. So anyway, we're gonna have some coffee. And we're going to talk about content marketing strategies for musicians, for artists. Occasionally you have to forget everything you learned and focus on where you didn't learn. And one of the things I made a big mistake with was hashtags. Yeah. Yeah, hashtags. Hashtags can be useful, but you gotta test them. You gotta make sure they go somewhere. And you have to be a little bit demanding of your clientele. You have to kind of tell them what to do. You have to navigate them and kind of point them in the direction of where you want them to go. You know, ideally, if you have music listed on Reverbnation, you have a catalog there. Ideally, you want to send them there and hope to entice them into buying your downloads, which is a big, nice thing. But where you get lost, now take it from me, I've been doing this since internet started back in 1992, 93, I got online. When they came out with America Online, and it destroyed my marriage. My wife ended up leaving me because she felt like somebody online was paying attention to her. But everybody knows it's a one-way conversation, and you're just a fool to think that the other person actually is dagging you. Most of the time they're fishing you, trying to get you interested in whatever it is they're doing. So, what I've learned is to not focus on selling myself so much as networking and trying to sell other people. Now, I did a video yesterday and I talked about sonicbids. Sonicbids is a great place to get started. If you want to be a producer or if you're a musician or anything like that, sonicbids is a great place to get your feet wet. You go there, you build an electronic press kit, what they call an EPK. You can upload videos, put video links into what the videos you want on there. You can upload your tracks. You can host a gig, or you can enter your information and put in to get into gigs. What you have to have an EPK or they can't find you. But it's all about your hashtags. You have to have important hashtags. You have to catalog your hashtags, whichever. I made a crazy mistake, and I just basically, if you come up with any kind of words and put the word blues behind it, it's a song I wrote. But I never wrote any of them down. So now I got 100 million hashtags out there floating around that I can't use unless I go back and I review everything I did to try and get reins on it. And I'm not concerned about that. I could care less if I sell the music or not. My main focus is to be supportive to people and offer them my book. It's very inexpensive, and most of it, the whole thing you can read for free on my blog. And I know Facebook people, there's not anybody on Facebook buying anything. Okay, I've got Bobby Baraka, who's a musician, and she does this thing where she makes gourmet marshmallows and basically gets the jumbo marshmallows and doctors them up with food coloring and decorations and things like that. And it's a fun thing to do with kids. And she's probably making a few sales, but it's from your established clientele. It's not just random people on Facebook who thought, oh, that's a great idea, because nobody on Facebook is spending any money. Facebook's like the free social site. It's like reading a wall in the bathroom where everybody scribbles. It's a lot of wasted time, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So we go back to the Sonic Bids thing. You get your EPK set up, and then you start searching gigs. And you can look at the gigs, study them, study how much the fee is. The sooner you quit thinking about making the money, the sooner you'll do better. You have to be selfless to succeed, and you have to think about the community that you're trying to be a part of. Now, what you want to do is you want to socialize with bands that have a large following. You want to socialize with a band that's been doing shows in their hometown and has tangible physical followers, people that come to the shows. You want to find those people, and those are the people that help spawn your career. See, by pushing other bands, you're pushing yourself, because you come up with you have a contest, you put the fee anywhere from $5 to $30, and they enter, and then you select it. You have to study them and see how many followers they have, see how many websites they're on, see how many internet radio distribution sites they're on. You have to see how serious they are, because a lot of people, they have the content, but they want somebody else to do the work. They think, oh, well, I wrote the song and I played the song and I recorded the song and it's my song. So what? Like with me, I'm a composer. I'm nothing fantastic, but what I do is what I do. And what my hopes are is that I come up with some kind of a song that gives somebody else an idea, plants a seed in their garden, and it grows, like Johnny Appleseed. He didn't get to eat any of them apples, And then, the other thing you have to understand and come to grips with is the reality of the fact that as a writer or a painter or any kind of artist, nobody really made any money. Willie Nelson was giving his songs away for loaves of bread to eat on the streets. Van Gogh wasn't a rich man. He didn't make a bunch of money. He might have sold a couple of paintings to a few people who foresaw into the future that they would be marketable or special. But so you have to step back and look at the big picture. Now, yesterday I made a comment about life being a carnival in America. Life is a carnival in America, and you're either a barker or a mark. And with the internet set up, they've sold everybody the idea that they can make money on the internet. They turned it into a commodity, and we've all been working extra jobs to buy devices to keep playing the game, and we're not getting anywhere. So you have to think about the group. You get to surround yourself with a group of people, group of bands, and network with them. Push their music, and you will find a pocket within that scenario to where your music will be showcased. So when you do a compilation album and you select 10 winners, you still have 4 slots on there, 14 tracks you probably can put on a CD comfortably these days. And that leaves you room to plant your seed material in there. And see, what you got to understand is that they are excited that they're featured on the CD. So they are going to have a handful of copies of these promotional CDs. They're going to be pushing the CD. They're going to be pushing their people to go to the sites to see, hey, I got selected as a winner on a contest. And in the big scheme of capitalistic dreams, it means nothing really, unless you hit it big with a hit. You have to have a hit. And the other thing is when it comes to having a hit, you have to be careful about your material content, the words you use, for instance, within the content. You either narrow your audience or you expand your audience with the content that you're pitching them. The things you're saying. Like if you listen to a lot of music on the radio, you hear a lot of ego music and face music and, it's all about, look at my ass, look at my teeth, look at my car, and things and money, and then all that superficial, materialistic, greedy nonsense. You don't want those followers. Those aren't the clients you want. You don't, not as a self-respecting writer or anything like that. You want music on the radio that people can listen to when their kids are sitting in the back seat. And that's where America went wrong with a lot of these people expressing themselves, this nonsense, poisoning the very community, starting with their own children. And we have a big, big disaster in America. It's going to come down to fighting and bloodshed. It will. Anyway, back to the Sonic Bids thing. So you go to Sonic Bids, you research what everybody else has been doing. And then you also have to consider reverbnation. Reverbnation, they constantly barrage you with opportunities, submit your music to be considered, where you have to be careful. When you submit a song to me to be on my compilation CD or to be in my contest, you're granting me rights. You're granting me access to the rights. So you have to understand what it is you have. You see, your song that you wrote is like an onion. Yeah. It tastes like an onion when you bite into it, but there's all the layers. You've got the album art rights, you've got the lyrical rights, you've got the bass line rights, the pianist rights, the producer's rights, the remixing rights. So that's another place where you have to be careful. You got a lot of sharks out there dying to get their hands on your song so that they can get their claws in it and get a little piece of it. And if they sucker 1,000 dreamers into doing that, and they actually do end up producing something that people listen to, they make a nice little residual income. Oh yeah, I went to college for this. It's a nasty world out there, and you can't trust anybody. You have to be aware of what your rights are. And as a person hosting a contest, you have to be aware that you have to keep their rights in mind. If you're selling the CDs, which is all fine and dandy, you have to do the math and divvy it up and give them their share. It might only be 25 cents, it might only be 15 cents. It's small, but it adds up. It's like gold dust. Yeah, you keep working and you accumulate the dust, and it don't seem like much, but at the end of the year, it's $15,000. Well, hell, I live on $12,000 a year myself. Yeah. Thank God I got a woman that takes care of me. But, anybody out there knows damn well you don't get very far with $12,000, especially if you're a starving artist trying to invest in yourself to get out there. So you can't spend all your time on social media pitching, and expecting to get a response You have to come up with your own circus. Just like in that movie where they were working in a restaurant, it was called Waiting, and the guy told the kid, he says, you got to come up with your own penis showing game. You got to come up with your own circus, your own carnival. You see, the politics of the carnival starts with a dictator, okay? Me. I bought a game, or I have a hot dog stand, and I want to sell my hot dogs, but I got to create an event. So I invite everybody else, people who have games, and I create an event. And I take a cut from each one of those people. So I'm not worried about selling my hot dogs. I'm getting a bite of everybody else's business. So you have to keep in mind the politics of it. The food people are never to be trusted. The food people, the concessions people, are two-faced. You see, they watch the carnival and they watch the fights between the guys running the games and the guys running the rides, because they're fighting over the same money, they think. Yeah, they think they're fighting over the same money, so they never get along. Because once you come through and you play my game, and that's the other thing, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1. You got to come up with something to get people's attention. And you offer them a plethora of things and hope they see that shining gem that you have in the basket that you want them to find. Now, the politics, you got the dictator who runs the show. You got the food guys who's like the Cleopatra, two-faced, always kissing everybody's ass, even though they're watching the fights and probably betting on them. And of course, after the show, everybody's getting drunk and stoned together. But you gotta think bigger. So come up with a contest, host a talent search, but pick people who have been serious, and never discredit or never overlook people who are tiny that have no followings. You have to listen to their content. If their content is worthy, then you can't overlook them just because they didn't have a fan base. You have to count on the other people that you worked with that do have a fan base to kind of carry it through. So you want to, and here's the other thing, you want to work with a CD manufacturer. Not many people can afford the material, the machinery like that you would buy at discmakers, for instance. Or I don't know if cdbaby's still in business. I got a big fat lawsuit against them. Yeah, they've got my album, Ambient Blues, the Bandana Brothers Ambient Blues album, posted on YouTube with commercials and stuff like that. Yeah, that's my album. You can't put that up there monetized, especially. I never give you permission for that. So every time I play my songs off of YouTube and showcase to my people, they hit me with copyright infringement. Oh, I can't wait for my day in court. So I'm going to keep hitting that key on that piano that pisses them off until I get my day in court. Here's the other thing. You want them to steal your work, okay? Getting famous is a shot in the dark. Not everybody's Garth Brooks, and what everybody doesn't understand is Garth Brooks got famous singing the same old cowboy songs that were sang forever. He just changed the words. Yeah. You gotta know your parameters. So what was I talking about? There's so many details. I can't get any feedback. I see Alexandra Kaminska out there. Good day to you, Alexandra. It's so nice to see you, dear. And I get my teeth all fixed on the 8th of August in one more week. They finish pulling them out and I get my dentures. Oh, I'm going to be so happy. But anyway, I'm sharing a lot of things, and it's hard to stay on topic because I don't have anybody talking to me. There's so many things to discuss about the aspects of it. I think I've given you quite a bit of substance to kind of go on. Oh yeah, back to the one-hit wonder thing. There's a tragedy. The one-hit wonder thing. You got to be out there in the public. You know, you got to go and do karaoke. You got to go and do open mic. You got to do free shows. You can't think of it as going and playing for free. Who said you get paid for playing the guitar? You're having fun. You know, the minute you throw money into anything, it makes everything complicated. You know, when you're concerned about, you know, coming up with 13 songs to put on a CD because that's what the record label's demanding, you know, you took the love out of the music, you took the meaning out of it, you took the sincerity out of it. You know, you're just masturbating, and that's the other thing. It's just like sex. It's a round world. You know, you have to perform to get the service response that you're desiring. Yeah, you have to give a performance. You know, like I said, it's not all about me. It's not about my writing. It's not about my music. It's about, you know, me bringing my personality, my personalities, and working and pitching other people, getting attention to other people's work. That's the investment. And that's where it'll pay off because they will be blowing your horn. They will be promoting your music. And I think that's about as good as I can say right now, just off the top of my head. I haven't sat down and thought about a lot of this stuff to be able to present today, but I think I've been pretty articulate with it. And I'm always online, you know, desperate to sell my work like everybody else. So I'm very reachable. And I'm very open. I talk to anybody. I'll talk about anything. There's not a question I won't answer or a problem I can't solve. And that's a bet. I dare anybody to challenge me in that. Anyway, I'm crazy old cop mad Zack. Crazy fox. Mad scientist mad. Yeah. So peace, love, and remember to care. It's all about caring. Come see me. You will find something special.